You're in the rant wormhole where I rant about whatever it is the members of my Discord tell me about. This one is for No Thank You, otherwise known as Yukon Thinkton. He wants me to rant about strange fetishes and Shinbo porn. Now, historically speaking, I've gone on the record to say that I don't really care about porn very much. I don't consume a lot of porn, I don't think about a lot of porn, and fetishes just seem kind of weird to me. Whenever I see a fetish and I'm like, yo, dude, that's like a little kid, that's like a chain around its neck, I'm like, I don't understand this, I don't see where this is coming from, but, you know, if you enjoy it, that's totally your right, because it's not real. That's the thought process that I have whenever I see any strange fetish. It's like, dude, you want to blow up a woman to look like a giant fucking thing running around? It's like that's not even real. That's not even possible in reality. Like I can't wrap my mind around putting things that aren't in reality in porn because you can't connect with it on an emotional level. Like, how am I supposed to fall in love with a character that's all the way up here, like ginormous, like going out through the roof, and is also like an 11-year-old girl who falls in love with like a tiny, small brain, low IQ man like me who's all the way down here? Like, how am I supposed to interact with that on an emotional level? Like, a lot of fetishes, I don't understand them because they don't have the emotional component of saying, I am in love with this person, I feel something towards this person. Um, I like it when in porn they have a storyline where the characters are in love with each other, where like, they feel something towards each other, so they go back to the room to bang one out, and there's some emotional gravitas to it, and like the dialogue feels emotional, the drawings feel emotional, there's a sense of beauty to it. That's the kind of porn that I like consuming and I like seeing. I don't like consuming porn where the sexual gratification comes from the fact that a character is being put in pain or they're being put in an uncomfortable position. If you go on in hentai, if you go through the tags, eventually you're gonna find some stuff of like women getting beaten with bats and just like all kinds of weird stuff. And I don't understand it. I don't understand what someone's mind would come to in order to enjoy like the idea of a lolly having bugs shoved in her vag, like I don't understand it. And of course everyone has the right to like what they like. I don't think someone is an inherently worse person or even an inherently weirder person. Sexual gratification ultimately ends up coming from your upbringing, from the places that your mind goes, and the sexual gratification of hentai is not necessarily representative of what your sexual gratification in reality is, because it's a drawing, it's an abstract understanding of reality rather than a materialistic one that you can see right in front of you. So I'm not really into any strange fetishes. I don't really get it. But on the topic of Shinbo porn, there's this OVA called Blood Royale that I'm not attracted to in any way, but I love watching it because it's really cool. Like, there's lots of like rape and blood and stuff, and it's violent. It feels, yeah, it's like, yeah, kill that fucking bitch. Hell yeah. It feels so good to watch because of the way that it's directed is just looking cool. Like, it there's a feeling that you get when you watch Blood Royale, when you see these characters, these nurses pitted against each other in absolute peril, that it feels like I'm watching a slasher horror movie with the directing style of Akiyuki Shinbo behind it. And it's awesome. I haven't seen any of Shinbo's other porn. If you don't know, Akiyuki Shinbo went by a pseudonym in the time in which he wasn't active in the anime industry, and he made a bunch of porn OVAs that weren't particularly successful. They kind of have a cult following, but if you look on torrent sites, it's hard to find them. I keep hiccuping a lot. I don't know what's going on there, but yeah. They're not particularly popular, but for the people who know Shinbo and are really deep into his work, they're gonna find this stuff. And honestly, I think it's better than Bakemonogatari. Bakemonogatari is one of the worst anime ever made. Like it's at like the bottom of the tier. Like when you're scooping shit out of like a cow place or a farm. I don't really know how real life works, but like when you're just scooping all of the shit at the bottom of the barrel, and then you find like the last little kernel of the disgusting, demented, fecal matter that's been just sitting there stirring in the sun from months and months and months, and you smell it and like you feel like you're going to puke. It feels like just by seeing that speck exists, just by seeing how gross it is, you feel like you're being punched in the fucking gut. That's how watching Bakemonogatari feels. It has absolutely zero artistic merit whatsoever. It is a fucking terrible show. And the porn Shinbo made, even though I've seen one OVA of it, it vastly outclasses the majority of the Monogatari series. Kiza Monogatari is really good, but all of the other parts of the series are absolutely terrible. And I like Shinbo a lot as a director. Petite Cosette is one of my favorite anime. I think it's one of the best things that he's made, if not the best. But his porn, it's way better than Monogatari. And people should check out Blood Royale if they're interested in seeing something that has cool directing put into it, and if you're attracted to lesbian nurses raping each other. It's pretty cool. Again, like I said, I'm not huge into strange fetishes. I don't really understand it. Like, I like horror movies and I like really violent video games. I have a copy of Manhunt in there somewhere that I've been playing through and I'm almost finished, which has brutal executions, and I enjoy it. I get excited when I see brutal executions in a game or a horror movie. But when it comes to being sexually gratified by them, even though it's not real and I realize it's just an abstraction, it's not reality, I can't get into the mindset of being attracted to it. But then again, like I said, I'm not really a porn guy in general. I don't look at a lot of porn. So yeah, that was Akiyuki Shinbo and Strange Fetishes. Thank you to No Thank You for giving the topic. I've got Jesus Christ, I have so many at this point. There's so many people joining the Discord and giving topics. This is really fun.